over 400,000 children are in foster care. Every night, children are in foster homes and shelters. Shelters do not provide a loving, stable family atmosphere. Shelters do not provide great living conditions for kids. And shelters are only temporary. A lot of kids come from abusive homes, alcoholic homes, drug using and drug selling homes. And the only way to change this is for more people to become foster parents. There are not enough foster parents to foster kid ratio. We really need foster parents. And not only, as a foster parent, not only can you change a child's current situation, but you can also change their future. Foster children get free college. Their tuition is paid for. They can go 100% free. But only 3% will ever graduate college, which, considering the fact that it's paid for, is not a very high number at all. I mean, if a meal was paid for at a diner, how many, percentage of people on that block of town would go eat at that diner? A lot more than 3%, I'm sure. But by having that loving and supportive foster family, that child has a much better success rate, or a much better chance of completing college and getting a better degree, which means that generally will put them on a better track, and they will be more educated, and they will have a better opportunity to gain a job that will be able to support them and make them financially stable. Also, by having a foster family, we could change the ratio or the percentage of 71% of females being pregnant by age 21. By having a foster family and having that support and having that love, one, the little ladies will feel loved, needed by their foster parents, and have that family atmosphere and that direction and that guidance. And they won't have to go look elsewhere for it. Growing up, females growing up without a dad, may look for that male, affection in the wrong places. All because they don't have that family relationship, or they didn't grow up in a good home and have values and morals instilled in them. 1 in 5 foster children will end up homeless by age 18. But by having a wonderful foster family and strong roots at home, in their home with their foster family growing up, they can have better direction, they can have better guidance, and they can always branch out slowly. It's not here you go, you're on your own. Figure it out. No job, no future, don't know which way to go, can't get an education because they have nowhere to live. It's a very rough road for the 1 out of the 5 that ends up on the street and doesn't have a foster family. And it's sad to think that a child may not get a foster family simply because there weren't enough. My wife and I foster. We recently fostered a 2 and a 5-year-old. Amazing kids. They were really great. Really great. Both boys. We loved it. We took them to church. They got to learn about Jesus. We took them to the park. We read to them every night. And by their reaction, these children had never been read to. They love reading with me so much that they memorized the entire book. They literally memorized the entire book that I read on a nightly basis. They specifically asked for that book. We read other books, but that one book, they would, no matter how many books I would read, they would want me to go to this one book and read that. And there was just about word for word they could cover that book after I would start reading it. We have friends that foster. Actually, my boss fosters. They just got a 11 week old girl, and they are planning to adopt, and things are looking well for them. And also, we have some friends that my boss, they have 4 boys, and they wanted a girl, and the wife had to have C-sections for every birth. They obviously didn't want to go down that road again, and so they wanted to adopt, and they wanted to adopt a newborn little girl, and things are looking great for them. And now that baby has a new home, and I know that she'll be loved and taken care of. And then we have friends that unfortunately are infertile, and they wanted their own kids, but that, is not an opportunity for them, so they foster. And they are adopting a little girl that they've had since she was just a few weeks old, and now she's a little over a year. Yes, the adoption process can take a while. No, not every child is up for adoption, but it's just the way I feel adopting is amazing. I'm helping that child, and to see their face light up, when they know that you care and you're there for them, and things like that. They're not used to this. They're not used to this atmosphere, and I'm not saying their parents don't love them, but to provide a stable, everyday life, and to show that kid that you love them, and to show them what it's like. Most of them don't even know what it's like to have a normal family, to have an actual family, what we do on a day-to-day basis, how we live with no changes, and not moving around constantly, or the cops showing up, or there's, we could go on and on and on about this, but it is a blessing to myself to be a foster parent, and it also is definitely a blessing for the children, to take them under our wing, and to lead them and to guide them, and to give them that stable home and give them a better chance in life. Or if they're only here for temporary, and they may return to the home, and that's the ultimate goal, is that the ultimate goal for CPS and things like that is for that child to get their parents on the right track, so that the child can return home. And many times that does not happen. More than it does. It doesn't more than it does. But I hope you can find it in your heart to foster and to become a foster parent. Being a foster parent is not a difficult task. It can be overwhelming. There's to begin with, there's 40 hours of training. Most of it can be taken online. I think there may be 1 or 2 classes that you will have to go in to an agency to take care of, but it's very easy and fun. You'll meet a lot of great people. If you do attend classes, there'll be other foster parents there just like you, or there'll be parents there that have been in fostering for quite a while, and they're just taking care of their recurrent training. But fostering is just an amazing thing, and it's a blessing to yourself. It's a blessing to the kids. You'll have to go through a couple of home inspections and make sure your house is basically, you have fire extinguishers and every smoke alarm in every room and things like that. But it is not a difficult task. Don't let it overwhelm you. If this is something that is on your heart, or this is something you want to do, or think you might want to do, just contact an agency today. There's hundreds, maybe even thousands of agencies out there, and they all are just a little bit different. CPS has their guidelines, but the agencies have theirs. Some are stricter than others, but they all have that base foundation, that they follow, and then they have their flexibility on what rules they choose to adopt or not. But I really hope you can find her in your heart and take those steps to adopt, because you will be blessed, and it will bring joy to your life. And don't hesitate. Call an agency today. Thank you.